working with the teachers, and in the community as a whole. Sometimes, you see, as a growing up, I mean, as a teenager then, I wasn't such, I wasn't so that's your sociable.
Okay.
You understand? I was always the type that, I mean, if you don't come make friends with me, well,
I'll just be on my own.
You're bad. Not my bad, like that. I'm like that. But at the end of the day, being a mother, you should, at this point, be very conversant with your community,
okay,
and your community members, for various reasons. Because if there's a woman in my community and she doesn't, interact with anybody, should I notice anything concerning her children, it would be very difficult for me to
tell her,
discuss with her and probably advise her on what to do within my own understanding. But when you are, I'm not saying you should go about, grilling at everybody and becoming like Yadubo, you understand? But in your own little way, I mean, be sociable.
All right.
So that, you are not left out of the loop. You know what is going on. You are updated. Even if your children are doing funny things while you're not at home,
somebody will tell you.
Somebody will tell you. And when they tell you, saying thank you, I will look into, does not mean that you believe what they have said, but you have to look into it really and know what is going on. Because at this point, a lot of things are happening. Social media is not helping matters. Everybody is guilty. Our entertainment industry is not, it's not helping matter either. Because, some things you hear, do you know that I think last week or upper week, I heard and she was singing, maybe you're going to help me. You want to roll with the big boys.
Okay,
that kind of a thing. And she was singing it, and she was dancing, and so I think as older women then, probably one of them could be a mother. You understand? You see, the lyrics, you may say, okay, these are children, they don't understand. But I tell you, the 5-year-old of my time,
it's not the same now. Yes, it's not.
So we should be more concerned with, activities going on around our children and what they are into, whether they are toddlers, whether they are teenagers, whether they are young adults.
Thank you very much. Yes, Buki, what are your thoughts on this and the need for parents to ensure that they do proper background check on the kind of nannies and people they employ or people they allow into their homes?
When Iminapa was saying Mama Adubo, I just laughed. Okay, now, so taking it from the dimension, because Iminapa has actually said a lot, from that perspective. So from your own question now,
yes,
to be honest, we all have to agree that the times we are living are dangerous times. When I say dangerous times, people are no longer those nice people anymore.
To know.
There are quite a lot of factors that have contributed: poverty, stress. I wouldn't say religion. Permit me to say lack of knowing God.
Okay.
There is no love anymore. There is wickedness that abounds. Pressure at work and all that. Government is not even helping matters. So quite a lot of things have changed. So, but we have to survive even with this. So where are we now?
Okay.
As parents that you have children, babies, toddlers, at least that age that they cannot express themselves the way they want. I think we have to deliberately and intentionally care for them. In the sense that who is taking care of them? It's not everybody that can take care of a child. That's the truth. Let's know that. There are some people that are wired. They cannot, that issue of I cry, they can't. It loses a pulse in their
some people cannot stand children cry, yes.
They can't. So when why would you now keep your child with such a person? So the other issue is anger. We have known some people that the way they treat their house helps. The house help will say, okay, they're treating me this way, no problem. When you go, I will treat your child the same way. So we also need to look at that angle. How are you treating even this house? And I know there are some of them that are let's stick there. That they are devils. But you stand on your side, you will know. You will know. So what am I saying is that before you keep your child with anybody, please, you said so, run a background check. Get to know who that person is. Even stay with that person, at least for a month or two, for you to know the kind of person that person is. Because there is no way, even if the person pretends, he cannot pretend 24/7 for 2 months. You understand? And I think this is time that we might have to go back to the basics. I know mothers, grandmothers of now, most grandmothers of now, they work. That's the truth. Unlike our own grandmother at that time, once your baby comes, they come and stay. I think we need to begin to look at what will work for me at this particular time. When the baby when your child can now begin to talk, auntie, this beats me, auntie, this, that, and all that, then you can now begin to work. And then another thing that I also want to tell parents, that even, because at times it might be very difficult, because we know, I've had instances that, within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I had to leave the baby, but then it wasn't really a baby. They could talk. You understand? But then, even if you are faced with that, when you come back, please check the baby, check the parts, check everywhere, the head, the eye, the temperature, this everywhere, to be sure that yes, it's okay. Because the truth, when a baby cries for a very long time, they will have headache. Your temperature will rise. So when you notice that the baby has fever all the time, is not crying, is moody and all that and all that, you have to take steps. Be very observant. Be very, very observant. That's just my own take on it. Like I said, Bonaba has done a lot. So we've looked at it from all perspectives. But honestly, it will have been so good. It will have been so good that at that particular time, that stage of their life, a parent is there, to bond with them. But hey, the realities are on ground that the two hands have to go and work. But then we have to balance things up. Those times are very, very critical in the stage of a child. And in fact, experience, not even experience, research has even said that at that period, 0 to 3 years, that is when you can make a monster out of that child by what you give that child, because of the neurofactors. There have been studies that those times are critical times. And you know what? Those are the times we give our child, to people to help.
True.
So you can see that science has said those are the times that we need to stay with the children.
Spend more time with them.
Spend them, bond with them. The character is formed at that time. We might not know, but the character is formed at that time. Love is formed at that time. Hatred is formed at that time too. But that is the time we say, house help and all that. The Lord will help us.
All right. Thank you very much, Buki. Thank you. This is Panorama on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Panorama is where we have the ladies from different geopolitical zones come together to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues.
Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities? And how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
Hello, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
My whole thing with it. I just show myself cause my whole thing with it. I'ma tell yourself with your whole thing with it. All limited price, 20 thing with it. My whole thing with it.
No time for the hiding. Make you know that's all your clothes. It's high time for the shining. On every stage and every show. Nobody put your life under the bed. Put your love, make a pretty bed. Into your destiny, got to follow your dreams. Do right by yourself.
If you know to yourself, then go show you second. I beg, I'ma show you that. I bet you I'ma show you.
Only the best stories from the very best dancers will make it to Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria. The search for Nigeria's unlimited dance talents. Watch the next generation of greats go from the streets to winning mega millions and repping Nigeria on the world stage in Europe on Glow TV from February 2022. Glow Battle of the Year Nigeria. Dance Unlimited.
Are you interested in developing a child's positive attitude to learning? Do you want your child to develop effective reading skills? Then look no further, as Babaya Educational Foundation BEF is here to deliver to you easy-to-read educational titles for the reading delight of growing youngsters. Patronize BEF books now and get these amazing children's stories, short stories, poetry, and other titles like The Garbage School, which is one of the 5 books on the United Nations SDG 4 recommended reading list. Nana the Storyteller, A Harvest of Hatred, No Al-Qibla Here, Songs of Silence, Our Country Holds a Whip Against Us, all by one of Nigeria's emergent writers, Dr. Abdullahi Ismail Ahmed. You can also sponsor the donation of these titles to schools, orphanages, and book clubs. Do you have a family relation or a friend you want to give the book? Why not patronize BEF Books? For more info, contact 070-3700-3285. BEF Books. Reading takes your heart to never dreamt of places.
They keep wondering, say I'm unstoppable. How I'm unstoppable. Some try to slow me down, but I'm undraggable. Yes, I'm undraggable. Every expectation I don't meet. That's the easy. My success, they retweet. I'm with me. Just keep browsing. Spectronet the Wi-Fi network. Just keep surfing. With Spectronet the Wi-Fi network. Check out what's real limited browsing. It's running mad. It's running mad. I want the food that I'm trying to be on the network. We are the Wi-Fi
Get and stay connected to the Wi-Fi network for unlimited internet experience that keeps you one step ahead in all your browsing needs. Spectronet, the Wi-Fi network.
Ina zuwa bari kawai yanzu nan kudin da ka zama kuɗi ta waya shi kenan aka cire ni live sai na ta dalili kenan shin kai baka da labarin kuɗin stamp duty sai ka ce wani mai aka wasiƙa ba stampin da ake likawa a bayan wasiƙa ba to me kenan wani nau'in haraji ne da aka umarci bankuna su ringa cirewa kan duk wasu kuɗi da aka yi transfer su inda sun haura naira 10,000 haka kuma duk wata yarjejeniyar ciniki da za a kulla tsakanin kamfanoni ko mutum da mutum to ni kuma me yasa zan biya ni ba wani kamfani ba biyan kuɗin stamp duty yake da biyan sauran kudaden haraji da irin waɗannan kudaden ne gwamnati ke amfani wajen gina mana asibitoci hanyoyi biyan albashi da sauran abubuwan more rayuwa kuna iya biyan kuɗin stamp duty a shafinmu na www.stampduty.gov.ng yanzu na fahimta mu biya kuɗin stamp duty a yau mu ga yadda za a yi mana ayyukan raya ƙasa da su wannan sako ne daga hukumar tara kuɗin haraji ta ƙasa FIRS.
They keep wondering, say I'm unstoppable. How I'm unstoppable. Some try to slow me down, but I'm undraggable. Yes, I'm undraggable. Just keep surfing. With Spectronet the Wi-Fi network. Check out what's real limited browsing. It's running mad. It's running mad. I want the food that I'm trying to be on the network. We are the Wi-Fi network.
Get and stay connected to the Wi-Fi network for unlimited internet experience that keeps you one step ahead in all your browsing needs. Spectronet, the Wi-Fi network.
Makaɗaiciyar rediyo na musamman domin mata da iyalinsu.
It is still Panorama on Women Radio WFM 91.7. My name is Esther Alaribe, and I have with me in the studio Ibnabo Dixon and over the phone Buki Femi Ajala. And just a lot to talk about. Now, when it comes to issues that have to do with marriage, sensitive topics. So an added listener of Panorama sent in this story, and she wants us to talk about it because she wants us to give her advice because this is threatening the peace in her home right now. She said her husband wants to have her official car, and also wants to be a signatory to her account. According to her, she was recently promoted at work and now she earns 3 times her husband's salary with an official car and driver. Now, my husband doesn't want to understand that it is an official car. He just wants that car, or I buy him the same car. And I asked why. My husband spends money carelessly, so for that reason, I cannot make him a signatory to my account. These issues are threatening my marriage. Real life issues, Ibinabo. Real life issues.
Yes, real life issues. Okay, from what I read actually, I think that the woman, to be very honest, has a bit of issues.
Okay.
In her marriage. Why am I saying this? You see, a lot of times, I think we talked about deal breakers in marriages. You see, you can't wake up and we should have joint accounts. Did we discuss it prior? Point 1. Point 2, you see, we need to learn to understand the character. You can't understand everything, even about your own self, let alone another person.
True.
But there are some key points that we must, focus on when you are dating a man or a woman. When this person has this, I don't want to use envy or jealousy when you begin to get your promotion as a spouse, is a huge problem.
It says,
because some of them would go to any length, some of them would even give an excuse for you to have to stay back at home. You understand? So, and in the course of that, it will affect everything, your career. You will not be happy at all. I don't understand why my husband will just wake up one day and tell me, because I have an official car, that I have to give it to him to drive about. Official cars are official cars.
Yes, they are.
I mean, it is well stated there. Official, not private. So why insisting on driving it around?
Okay.
You understand? I mean, and giving an option of, okay, if you can't give me, then you have to buy that
the same car.
So, I mean, that such a man, honestly, is either he doesn't know what it means to be a husband, or you need to sit down and discuss these things. And don't be afraid to let out your feelings. A lot of times we hold back. Even while dating, we don't speak out. We don't say things that are not clear to us. We don't address issues. We tend to sweep everything under the carpet. And issues, they'll
still come up.
They will rear their heads later, whether you like it or not. In time, it will come up. And when they begin to come up one by one, then you start having issues. We can discuss some, like, on a lighter note. Honey, if I'm going, I won't go one place. So I need to
that your motto. This is what you even say.
There are ways to go about it that even me, I will be very happy. You understand? Not by
enforcing it,
making yourself commander-in-chief.
And more insight into the story. The lady said that her husband's family, that's the in-laws, are already saying, there's this word she used when she was trying to explain to me that she's trying to lord over the husband, that she's trying to prove she has money, that why can't she submit to the husband, including everything.
You see, what I'll quickly tell her here is that you see, when a woman begins to make more money, that's egoistic tendencies in the man would come to the fore. Not all of them. Some of them, it comes when they control it. Those who don't have control over it, you have to be careful. Now you have to be mindful of your responses. Just so they don't begin to, but it's difficult. It's difficult because, before I got to this level, you have been married for a while, even if it's for a year. My husband should understand my responses. I should know that, this I be safe. Any small thing, she could just blah like that, you understand? So if you know me to be that kind of person, and now I have more money, now I have an exotic car, and you're now attributing my brash responses
because I am now the boss at work.
Now having more money than you. You've always known me to be that kind of person already. You did not complain. You were okay with it. Now suddenly everything is now seeming like, I'm all shoulder pad high, walking taller than my height and everything. Let's take it easy. Take it easy. I'm appealing to men out there. Encourage your wives. Encourage your wives. And wives, don't say because now I'm making more money, I'm the boss. You're not the boss. You are your spouse's partner. You understand? If you're picking up the bills, it doesn't have to be the consumption of your friends. Okay, and I'm not the one picking the bills.
Tell everybody.
You understand? You are picking the bills. Pick it quietly and calmly. After all, they are your children. After all, you live in that same house. You understand?
Okay.
Shared burden is no big deal. But then the man should not come and, because if they get one kind inferiority complex, come and take that one, choke the woman. I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair.
All right.
If he wants to listen, let him listen. If he doesn't want to listen, see, the honest truth is that it's either you cave in and allow him to use the car, or you have issues. So you have these are serious discussion. You have to sit down with him and tell him your reasons for not wanting to do this and that.
Okay.
You understand? I can't buy you this car. Do you know how much it costs? What is the joy for me? What is the joy in earning so much money? Now, okay, for example, I know somebody, a young lady. She earns almost $1 million a month.
Okay.
You understand? I met her in a place, and she loves to go on holidays. You understand? Because there are times you don't have the money, but you have your desires, and not that you can afford it. Somebody will not bring a burden or bring his own ego to come and choke you. Then the joy of earning such salary,
you don't even have it.
You are denied. You understand? So please,
all right. Thank you very much.
Understand. But wives, please pick up bills. If you earn more than your husband, don't say this is your husband. You must continue to pay all of the bills with his own meager salary.
All right.
Support him. Be supportive. Don't be prideful. But then again, don't now turn to
devalue yourself.
Do you understand? Because you want to please your husband.
All right.
Because it doesn't bring any joy.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibna. But Buki, what do you think about the story to give a husband the official car and also make him a signatory to the account or not?
Okay. Yes. I like the dimension that Ibna had done. But I want to talk about the fact that what will this lady do now? You know, should be told. It's not. You can't say this is the way you are going to go about it, because there are many factors. Okay. I would have loved to know who this lady is, what is her values, how does she even conduct herself, just like Ibn has said, and also the man. And I believe that if at this stage of marriage, the man has that authority, to say, if I don't use this official card, then buy me a new one. And then I must be a joint signatory to your account. That tells a lot. It tells a lot. So what will she do? And I think that is what she's even saying, that she's in a dilemma. Now, you have to come from a position of knowledge. One, God forbid that that official car is an accident. By the time you are putting in your papers and all that, they want to know who drove the car. There are some establishments, and this is where you have to come from knowledge and sit with your husband. Okay. And if you know that sitting with your husband does not make sense, then look for the person that your husband is accountable to. Okay. I always tell people who want to get married, either the lady or the man, who is that person that your husband or your wife can listen to? It might not necessarily be the parents. It might be one old man, one big man, whatever it is, I don't know. Somewhere that when you call that person and that person calls your husband goes like, hey, you must have that person. That must be that person. If you know that that's your husband you've been talking to in the room here, then that is the time you call that person in and you explain the whole thing to that man. That we can be in the car together, but he cannot drive the car alone because it's an official. I have signed. If possible, show the document. I know of a company. If the MD of the company sees the car being driven by the spouse, he will stop that car and he will take it. I know of a company like that.
Thank you.
They're different.
My sister experienced it. Thank you.
Okay, yes. So there are different policies. When I was using official cars, it was stated, it is me or my driver.
Okay.
You understand? So when even anybody wants to drive, I have to be in that car or have to drive. So explain that to him so that he will explain it to your husband. And then on the issue of the joint account, it might be hard, but that is the truth. I've seen all kinds of things. You know that if you do this, your money is gone. So what do you do? What do? You need to shine your eye. I believe that the resources that you have is for the family. Ensure that the family is taken care of the way you want.
Okay.
Even if you have to extend it to your in-laws, do everything that you need to do. But then, if he insists on a joint account, fine. Put some money in an account for him to use. But do not give him this account that he's asking for. Have a budget. But please save. Okay. Because, hey, if something happens, I don't pray anything happens. If you lose the job or whatever it is, what are you going to fall back on? Okay. And it looks as if this husband is not man enough to be a husband. He's not man enough to say, you know what, your money, just use it to ensure that you are okay, take care of the family and all that. For me, don't worry, I'll pull it through. Does that mean that he's not working? Why can't he buy a car for himself? Why must he use your own money? I mean, these are questions that you probably want to ask, but you see, we don't want, but we are only saying that wise up, use your brain at this time. I mean, if he wants, okay, devote a money for him to be spending. But honestly, I don't see.
But I don't think I agree with that part. I have to give him certain amount of money because for someone to be my spouse, you should be happy for me.
Hold on.
Okay.
You don't know where they are coming from.
Okay.
You understand? You don't know, maybe the man is not working and it is the lady that has been taking care of everything.
Okay, let me pause it. So let's see if we can squeeze this call in.
You understand?
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Good morning. This is Grandma Lainka.
Good morning, Grandma Lainka. Good to have you join us this morning.
Good morning, Prof.
Good morning, Grandma.
Morning, ma.
Well done.
Thank you, ma. You're fine.
As I just telling us the story of this man, I'm just getting angry in my spirit. That which sort of man is this? What sort of man is this? Sort of training did he have from his mother, especially? And I just concluded that if this lady's life is in danger because of all the conditions the man has given, and the woman said he's a free spender. If is just defending her money when they have joint account, there should be no joint account.
Okay.
And he should not drive that car. If after they have started down and discussed and he refused, I'm afraid for this lady's life because such a man can kill.
All right, thank you very much, Grandma.
Then, excuse me, sorry, Daddy. Then the first story about children battered and all that.
Yes.
The modern days ladies, they are too careless and they are lazy. They are not observant. They're very lazy. They want nanny to do everything. And if they can have money to have nannies, they should have money to have CCTV in their homes. So that each night when they come back, they will be watching that. I cannot imagine two children you are talking about. It is only the grace of God that will make them to be alive.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Grandma. Thank you very much, Grandma Lainka. I also feel the same too, because seeing that video and everything that those children went through, even as an adult, if the person survived, very, very slim. So Grandma is saying that don't give him the car. Don't make him a signatory to that account.
Of course. You don't. You can't give him the car.
Okay.
That's the truth. And you cannot make him the signatory of that account. But I was rounding up. I said, because you see, when we take these stories, we don't have the full blast of everything. So we are only talking based on the little amount we know. I told you, we don't know, maybe the man is not working and the lady has been the one taking care of everything now. I mean, up to now, we don't know. It was not.
And you still want to be a signatory to the account.
Exactly. So that is why I'm saying that now sit down. Even if possible, you probably want to go. I mean, sit down with somebody. You know, someone who can counsel you, who has gone through that, and will tell you how to move around it. But like I tell you, from the little experiences I've had that I've seen, Hey, you don't have to do that, because if you do that, you are on your own. This man that is not taking care of you. If something happens to your job, God forbid, is it this man? This man will leave you and go to another woman. So why don't you wise up? Have your own investment plan. Do not. If he says he wants money, then get an account, put the money that you want. And like I told you, you must bring in his own, somebody that he can listen to. There must be somebody to say, wow, this man, this is the only issue. Please let me talk to him to understand. And you must stick your ground. What if you give him the car and something happens and you are fired at that job?
And
what
also,
happens?
To quickly add to what Bouquet has been saying.
Yes.
You see, if that this man is one hell of a guy, is giving you a lot of headache, and you really want to keep your home, I mean, if he's sincere,
yes.
Let's assume this woman earns a month. Okay, create a joint account with him, and put a third of your money there. Let's see how that works. Because for a man who is a spendthrift, who cannot take care of 300,000 naira, then I'll come and trust you with $1 million naira. You understand?
Maybe the man will even come back to ask her, you don't put money for the account again.
Do you understand?
He wants to be doing fine boy.
Yes, let's start
on my own money.
She should start with that.
Okay.
I mean, it's a sacrifice, but do it if you want to keep your home. It's so unfortunate that some men are like this. For me, who will even put his credit card in my purse, and I'm the one that will add sense to my sense so that I don't mess this up. Because if I mess it up,
you're on your own.
I mean, all of us will suffer. Do you understand?
That's just
so. Please, husbands, let us stop doing these things. They should stop doing these things. Stop getting all angry, all envious because your wife is getting promotions or getting a much higher salary than you are getting. There is no problem. You are a team. You are a team. Let there be the team spirit is what we need here. It's not a competition. I mean, you are on the same page. She should start off with
maybe 300,000.
Yes,
something
let's
small.
have it just account.
All right,
let's see how we will run it.
Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me on Panorama this morning. Thank you, Buki. Thank you, Binabo.
Thank you.
Yes, still have a great
beautiful day.
Yes,
thank you.
All right, so looking at everything now, I'm very, very sure that this lady will be able to take like an informed decision based off of everything that everybody said. That is just it. That's all we have to say on this. All right, do want to join us again tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. on Panorama. Up next is Radio Doctor.
To sponsor this program, code number 0816 480 7613.
Uncle Dante.